Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian. Today I'm taking a look at a new book that I've gotten, hot off the presses. This is Great Britain, The Tommy Gun Story by Tom Davis Jr., with apparently quite a bit of help from a man named James West in the UK. The idea of this book is it actually started when Mr. Davis wrote an article on the 1928 Savage Thompson for Small Arms Review. He had his friend, Mr. West, do a whole bunch of research in the National Archives in the UK, and ended up with way more documentation than he needed for this SAR article he was writing. So with the magazine article finished, he goes on and just keeps on writing the story of the Thompson gun in Great Britain, not really knowing where it's going to end. And where it ended is about 140-page book detailing the history of British use of the Thompson gun. So this is a historical book. This is not a technical book. You will not find discussion of things like how the Blischlock works or the manufacturing processes for the Thompson. Instead, this is a history of how the British government went about purchasing the Thompson and why and when, and in a number of interesting little side notes and sub-histories of the subject. So, for example, the Cutts compensator, which we're used to seeing on the end of early Thompson guns. Obviously, it was gone by the time the US was adopting large numbers of M1A1 and M1 Thompson guns. But initially the British had them, and then later they didn't have them. And for example, one of the small details that Mr. Davis covers in this book is why did they disappear? And in fact, there turns out to be a lot of discussion back and forth about this and the pricing and whether or not they were accessories or included, or how the British government went about negotiating prices for Thompson guns. So the British use of the Thompson began with an order of about 750 guns, and they ended up purchasing nearly 500,000. Really pretty interesting discussion of how that went about, how it happened. So this is a self-published book. It's black and white. It is meticulously researched, right down to some things like there have been some pervasive misunderstandings about British Thompson orders, which actually originated because the British order book itself, the clerks who were recording the actual payments and orders, made some typos. And when Davis and West were going through these documents, they were able to determine, they clearly didn't account for this order that was already noted here when they noted this one and that one, and this leads to incorrect numbers. So clearing up a lot of that sort of thing in here, and a lot of the misunderstanding about when and why and under what circumstances the British ordered Thompson guns. So really a pretty cool book. It's a bit of a niche subject. If you're interested in the Thompson, this is kind of a nice side companion to the larger general histories of the Thompson gun that are out there. It covers a very specific area that isn't well covered by any of the other literature. If you're into British history during World War II, this is definitely a book that you ought to have, because again, it covers an interesting major small arms component of the British war effort that again hasn't been covered elsewhere. So check it out. We'll have a link below where you can pick up your own copy. As I said, this is self-published. This is one of those books that's really more of a labor of love on the author's part than a serious commercial endeavor. These sorts of things rarely show enough profit margin to rate a second printing. So if you don't get one now, by the time they sell out, they're probably not ever going to be reprinted. So if it's something you're interested in, don't delay, pick one up while you can. Thanks for watching, guys.